Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the call today. Welcome to 2017. Can we get your thoughts on the preseason and on the opening game with SFA, please?
A year in which we feel like this is the best SMU team that we've had, definitely since we've been here in our 33 months. And we've recruited really well, and so we're really starting to see the dividends of that. We saw some of the growth happening last year. Coming in our first year, just trying to establish our culture, put the culture in place, let our kids start working toward that, buying in, believing in our culture, and then we saw and really just kind of laying the foundation for this program in year one. Year two, we saw some growth. We saw some of the walls going up, or in some cases, if you use the Chinese bamboo adage, you started to see some of the sprouts really taking place. But we weren't ready. We didn't have the depth. We didn't have the experience just yet. And so while we saw some growth, we didn't see the consistency in which that it takes to be a top-tier team. Now coming into year three, we've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of football. I mean, a lot of football over the last 32 months and 33 months. And so we're excited about the experience that we have coming back. And we just expect this is going to be a fun year, an exciting year, a year in which you're going to continue to see more growth in our program. Still doesn't mean the storms aren't coming, because they are, but we're going to stay true to who we are. Our culture's established, and we're really excited coming into to Saturday night.
We'll take questions for Coach Morris, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue, then the operator will introduce you.
We'll go to Adam Grossford with Dallas Morning News.
Hey, Chad. Yesterday there was the report that you've offered to host Rice as it tries to get back to Houston after the hurricane. Have you heard from them on whether or not they're going to take you up on that offer?
Well, obviously right now our state is stronger than ever. I mean, you start seeing people helping each other all over our state. I mean, that's well, when adversity hits, you find out the best in everybody. And man, this is it's so saddening to see what's happening down in the coastal area of our state, but yet it's also very rewarding to see the people coming together. And I've known David for a long time, and I consider him to be one of the outstanding, not just coaches, but men in this community, or men in this profession. And I just reached out to him while they were still in Australia and said, "Look, hey, we're here to help you. We want to help. We'll make additions. We'll make just whatever we need to do, arrangements to help you guys out in our meeting rooms or practice fields." And so anyways, I know that they were on a long flight back from Australia and were going to land in LA and was going to get a hold of us. So that's where we are right now. I know there's been a lot of people reach out to those guys, but just a time of need right now that we all got to come together. We've got several of our players that their families have lost a lot, and their friends, and so it's just it's a time we're coming together right now as a team and as to help everybody.
Thank you, Chad.
We'll go next to Dan Tortora with WakeUpCalled.com.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning, Dan. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. I know you just addressed in your last response about what's going on in Texas right now, and I wanted to go a little bit further with not just SMU, but with Baylor. And like you said, when adversity strikes, you find the best in people. Just what you can say about going beyond the field and how, teams that'll go up against each other on a Saturday are finding a way to come together, help one another, and help teams like Rice get through this tough time right now.
Well, I mean, that's what you do, and we're in this business as a servant leader, and I've said that from the get-go. When I first got into this business, you're in it to serve people and to help people and to lead by example, and so David would do the exact same thing if it was us, and without a doubt, and would never think twice. And but we've got a lot of great institutions across our state that are doing the same thing right now, and so it's just we come together. That's what you do. And when you see the disasters that have hit and all over our state and all of the high school programs across our great state, if so many of them have canceled games, so many of the high schools in that coastal area will be washed out, and so you're going to see a mass influx of kids, trying to get to a place so they can play this year. And so this is far from over right now, and we just got to continue to pray for them down on the coastal areas and be here to help, and that's what we're here for.
And then as far as going back to your team, I know scholarships and work for that for some of the guys that come onto the team as walk-ons are a huge part of those celebrations that you have going into a season. I know you have given a couple scholarships going into this upcoming game, and just what you can say about the scholarships that you gave and just what it means to have moments like that to celebrate the guys that are obviously working just as hard as the players that came in on scholarship.
Yeah, Dan, and you know what? That's a great question, and let me tell you, whenever you're able to be able to give scholarships back, it does so much for the morale of your team. It does so much for guys. It just shows that, you don't have to be a great player. And, both R.C. Cox and Raul Reyes were the two recipients of our scholarships, and we did it at our Beanie Bowl Saturday night where our fans were there, and it was a neat time. And Raul, he doesn't play. R.C. plays and has played for us. But, these guys are seniors. They have walked on. They have stayed the course. And they've never walked into my office asking for a scholarship. It was just, hey, look, Coach, I'm here to serve. I'm here to be a part of this team. I want to be a part. And man, your heart just overcomes with joy when you're able to see the expression on these two young men's face and the tears in their eyes. I mean, they very well they couldn't hardly even talk to me at the end. Because of what this means to them and being a part of this team and where we've came over the last coming into our third year. So really neat experience. I mean, you when you get to see those things, it's an experience from firsthand. It's really special. It's a moment they'll never forget, and it's a moment that we'll never forget.
Thanks, Coach.
We'll go next to Billy and Body with 247sports.com.
Hey, Coach. How are you this morning?
Hey, Billy. I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty good. I wanted to ask you, you've got a quarterback battle on your hands. Have you made any decisions or starting to see some clarity there just yet?
Well, we haven't. I'm not going to name one until game time, but we've got three really good guys that are battling, and three guys that could play for a lot of teams across our country. And man, I'm telling you, these guys have had a great competition battle going on. Obviously, Ben Hicks is the starter from last year. Played in 11 games, started 11 games for us. Got so much better as the year went. DJ Gillen's a young man, a bounce back from Wisconsin that went to Pearl River that came in last January. Was unable to go through all of spring. He went through a portion of spring, and that kind of set him back a little bit. Rafe Peavy did come in. He transferred in from Arkansas, set out last year, went through spring, had a great spring. Started off a little slow, but, man, he really picked it up. And then they all came into fall camp and really pushing each other, and there's good days, there's days that aren't so good, and as we just tell these guys, man, just stay the course. But at some point, obviously this week we'll start narrowing down some things. But I'm just from just a coaching standpoint, especially early in the year, I'm gonna hold on naming somebody until right here at the end.
You anticipate this battle going into the season or stretching into the games? Are you going to play multiple guys? Do you guys know just yet?
Yeah, Bill, I tell you what, yes, we are. And it's much like last year. If you think about, what happened to us last year, Matt was the starter. We were going to play Ben just to get him ready for this year and get him ready just in case something happened to Matt. Unfortunately, Matt tears his ACL in the opening game of the year, and Ben is forced to be in there right then. And so our plans are to do the same thing. I mean, we're going to have to play and get the experience of these other guys to figure out, now how much are they going to play? I don't know that, but whether it's if Ben's a starter and you come in with the whatever series and to get these next guys some experience. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, if Ben's not the starter, then he's got a lot of experience underneath his belt. But this is, and I've said this before, and it was the same thing, and we did the same thing at Clemson. I mean, just because you're the starting quarterback one week, I mean, we want the competition to be where our standard is, which is best, and we want these guys to compete each week. And nobody signs a lifetime contract, even if you are the starting quarterback. So you got to continue to work to protect your job and lead this football team to get them in the end zone and to wins, and that's inevitably what we're looking for. Guys that can move the chains, guys that can get these guys in the end zone, and we feel like we're as explosive offensively as anybody. And so we've got a great supporting cast. They don't have to do it all themselves, and so it'll be interesting. I'm excited about where we are right now with these guys.
Just a quick follow-up. Do you have an update on right guard and what you plan on doing there yet?
Yeah, Jacob Jadora is a young man that it's obviously going to play quite a bit at right guard. You'll also see Bryce Wilds at right guard some with Will Hopkins at a right tackle, and being able to alternate in and out there with Bryce Wilds. So if Bryce is at guard, Will be at tackle. And so we feel like we've got a good combination going on right there.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And we can get in one more for Coach Mars, please.
We'll go next to Leo Haggerty with It's Sports Magazine.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Coach, two parts real quick. What's been your biggest challenge since coming to SMU from Clemson, and who's your biggest rival in the AAC?
Well, I think, when you start looking at the challenges that we have coming in here, obviously we don't have enough time on my press conference here to talk about all that, but there's been challenges as we build this program just to change the perception. I guess that's probably the biggest thing, is change the perception of the way SMU football is perceived, not only in our state but on our campus. And I think we've done a great job of that, because that's what our culture is about, and we're not going to deviate who we are. And the blueprint for success, we know what it looks like. Obviously, it won a national championship last year, so we know what it looks like. We know how to do it, and so it truly is a process. When you start looking at who are your rivals in this conference, obviously. I know Houston's been a rival for SMU for quite some time, but there's been others. Memphis is a rival here as well. Obviously the last 2 years we haven't fared well with them. Hadn't fared well with Navy. Tulsa's been SMU and Tulsa have played together for a long time, so I would consider them rivals. So it's really. Really, you don't kind of get caught up with all that. I just haven't, and it's really just about the SMU Mustangs and how we approach every day.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
You bet. Thank you.
Coach, we thank you for your time today. Look forward to hearing from you again next Monday.
You bet. Thank you.